all started with an old map, a relic of a time long past. Ethan, a young archaeologist, driven by the need to uncover the mysteries of forgotten civilizations, had spent years researching it. It was rumored to lead to the ruins of a lost kingdom, hidden deep within a jungle no one had dared enter for centuries. The map was believed to be cursed, as every explorer who had tried to find the kingdom had vanished without a trace. Ethan wasn't afraid. He was determined. He had always believed that the world held more secrets than anyone realized, and this was the key to unlocking one of the greatest ones. He had gathered a small team. Lena, an experienced sea captain who knew the waters and had traveled the globe, and Jack, a seasoned adventurer who had a reputation for surviving the impossible. Together they embarked on the dangerous expedition, navigating through uncharted terrain, following the cryptic symbols on the map that led them deeper into a remote jungle. The air grew thick, and the ground beneath their feet felt heavy, as if they were walking in the footprints of ancient gods. As they travelled further, the landscape around them began to change. The trees were unlike any they had seen before, towering, twisted, and covered in strange carvings. The atmosphere was thick, with a palpable sense of history and mystery. Every sound seemed amplified, the distant cry of a bird, the rustling of leaves, the beating of their hearts. It wasn't long before they began to notice that they weren't alone. At first it was subtle, strange flickers in the shadows, unexplained sounds that echoed in the silence of the jungle. But as they ventured deeper, the feeling of being watched became overwhelming. Jack, always the skeptic, tried to laugh it off, but even he couldn't shake the unease in the air. By the time they reached the entrance to the lost city, a towering stone archway covered in moss and vines, they knew something ancient and powerful was at play. The map had led them here, but now they were faced with the truth. They had uncovered something that had been hidden for a reason. The entrance to the city was guarded by massive stone statues of unknown gods, their eyes seemingly following their every move. The path to the temple was lined with intricate carvings, showing a civilization that had mastered the art of controlling nature and time. It was clear that this was no ordinary place. As they entered the temple, they found themselves in a vast chamber, its walls covered in elaborate murals depicting gods and warriors battling against strange creatures. The temple was unlike anything they had ever seen, a fusion of technology and mysticism. Ethan was captivated by the structure, but Lena, with her vast knowledge of ancient cultures, was more cautious. "There's something off about this place," she whispered. "This isn't just an old ruin. It feels like the remnants of a lost civilization, but much older." Jack, ever the adventurer, was already exploring deeper into the temple. He was the first to stumble upon an artifact, an ornate stone tablet covered in strange symbols. As Lena studied it, her eyes widened. "This is a timepiece," she said, tracing the symbols with her finger. "It's a mechanism that could manipulate time itself." The deeper they went, the more dangerous the temple became. Traps and illusions lined the halls, designed to protect the secrets of the lost kingdom. Ethan and his team had to rely on their wits to avoid deadly pitfalls, shifting walls, and even disappearing floors. Each obstacle they overcame brought them closer to the heart of the temple, but with every step, the feeling of being watched intensified. The temple seemed to shift and change around them. One moment they were in a grand hall filled with treasures, and the next they found themselves in a labyrinth of corridors that seemed to stretch endlessly. They could hear whispers echoing from the walls, as if the temple itself was alive, testing them, trying to prevent them from uncovering its secrets. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, they reached the throne room. It was a vast, open chamber with a high, vaulted ceiling. In the center was a throne made of obsidian stone, its surface etched with the same symbols they had seen throughout the temple. This was it, the heart of the lost kingdom. Ethan could feel the weight of history pressing down on him. But it wasn't the throne that caught his attention. It was the device beside it, a large mechanical contraption, pulsating with an eerie, otherworldly energy. This is what they used to control time," Ethan muttered, stepping closer. Lena's voice trembled as she spoke. They didn't just manipulate time, they controlled it. This kingdom wasn't lost because of war or natural disaster. They destroyed themselves. The realization hit them like a wave. The ancient civilization they had uncovered had achieved a level of power far beyond anything they had ever imagined. But in their pursuit of godlike control, they had ultimately destroyed themselves. The kingdom was not lost due to a catastrophe, but because the rulers had tampered with forces they couldn't comprehend. Manipulating time and space had come with a terrible price. As they explored further, they found evidence of the downfall. Massive cracks in the walls, ruins that were once grand cities, and inscriptions that told the tragic story of the kingdom's collapse. The people had vanished, leaving only their technology behind. But the worst part was the final warning. Whoever controls time controls all, but at the cost of their soul. Ethan, Lena, and Jack were left with a choice. Take the knowledge and power of the ancient kingdom for themselves, or leave it buried forever. They understood that such power could alter the course of history, could give someone the ability to control time itself. But at what cost? The journey back was just as perilous as the journey forward. The temple seemed to fight against them, with walls shifting and pathways closing. The three of them were exhausted, but they knew they couldn't let the power of the lost kingdom fall into the wrong hands. In the end, they made the decision to leave the temple and its secrets behind. The knowledge they had uncovered was too dangerous, too powerful to be shared. As they walked away from the ruins, they burned the map, ensuring no one else would follow in their footsteps. The world would never know the truth about the lost kingdom, and perhaps that was for the best. The forgotten kingdom remained hidden, its power dormant, its legacy sealed away forever. The journey had changed Ethan, Lena, and Jack. They were no longer just explorers, they had become the guardians of a secret too powerful to ever be revealed. And so the kingdom's legacy lived on in the shadows, a mystery that would never be solved.